In the year 2094, the city of New Avalon achieved perfection. There was no crime, no war, no shouting in the streets. The government proudly announced they had finally fixed humanity's greatest flaw, emotion. Every citizen was fitted with a neural implant, a small device that monitored fear, anger, and sadness. If your emotions surged too high, the system would instantly shut them down. Peace was no longer a choice, it was enforced. And for years, an eerie, unbroken silence hung over the city, until Ilara began to dream. Dreaming was supposed to be impossible in New Avalon. The implant was designed to suppress any deep emotional activity, especially during sleep. Yet every night, Ilara saw the same haunting images: dark, winding tunnels deep beneath the city, and in them people screaming. But no drones ever came to silence them. Her dreams felt too real, too vivid to be a simple glitch. Ilara's job gave her unique access. She was a coder, one of the few who maintained the government's central system, repairing the emotional surveillance code that kept the city in its tranquil state. One night, while sifting through routine data logs, she stumbled upon a chilling anomaly. Thousands of citizens officially listed as deceased were still generating emotional signals. And these weren't faint, residual echoes. They were raw, powerful spikes of extreme fear, extreme panic, and unbearable suffering. Her heart pounded in her chest, a forbidden sensation the implant struggled to contain. She cross-referenced the data, her fingers flying across the console. The locations of these signals weren't on the surface, not in any registered sector of New Avalon. They were coming from deep underground. The signals pointed to one specific area, an abandoned transit sector sealed off decades ago and erased from all public maps. Driven by a terrifying curiosity she couldn't explain, Ilara used her clearance to bypass the security protocols. She found a hidden service entrance and descended into the darkness, leaving the sterile, quiet world of New Avalon behind. What she found in the dust-choked tunnels shattered her reality. The missing citizens, the ones marked as deceased, were alive. They were strapped into rows of massive humming machines, their bodies convulsing, their faces locked in silent screams. Intricate networks of cables and tubes snaked from their heads, siphoning their amplified emotions. Ilara followed the main energy conduit, which pulsed with a sickening, vibrant light. The emotions were being extracted, converted into a potent form of energy, and then sent straight back up to power the entire city. The lights, the drones, the automated systems, everything ran on stolen feelings. New Avalon wasn't peaceful because emotion had been erased. It was peaceful because a hidden population was being forced to feel it all for them. The city's serenity was built upon a foundation of concentrated agony. But that wasn't the worst part. As she dug deeper into the system's restricted files, she uncovered the true reason for this monstrous harvest. Beyond the city walls, in the desolate, forgotten wastelands, something moved. The files contained fragmented sensor readings and panicked reports from the city's early days. They described shadowy entities, creatures that were drawn not to sound or movement, but to emotional energy. Specifically, they were drawn to silence. The government hadn't eliminated emotion to create peace. They had weaponized it. They had concentrated it into a single, agonizing beacon to keep something far worse away. The suffering of the few was a shield for the many, and now that shield was failing. The energy core, fed by the unending torment, began to destabilize. The emotional suppression field across the city flickered and weakened. For the first time in decades, the citizens of New Avalon started to feel again. A gentle wave of confusion rippled through the populace, quickly escalating into ripples of anger and then tidal waves of raw terror. The sky above New Avalon, once a pristine blue, seemed to darken. From the wastelands, the shadows began to approach, sensing the change, sensing the weakening of their deterrent. Then the core collapsed. A catastrophic failure sent a shockwave through the system. The city erupted into screams. Drones, their power cut, fell from the sky like metal birds. Lights sputtered and died, plunging districts into darkness. The silence that had defined a generation was irrevocably broken, and as the last vestiges of the energy shield evaporated, the creatures came. They poured over the walls, silent hunters in a world suddenly filled with noise. But as chaos consumed New Avalon, something unexpected happened. Down in the dark tunnels, the prisoners, the ones who had endured years of unimaginable fear, began to fight back. They had been forced to live with the worst of human emotion, to drown in it. They had survived it, and they were no longer afraid. While the citizens above were paralyzed by feelings they didn't understand, the prisoners met the invading darkness with a raw, defiant strength forged in suffering. As she watched the city tear itself apart, Hilara finally understood the government's fatal mistake. Fear was never humanity's weakness. It was a warning, a motivator, a fire that could forge strength. The true weakness had been the silence they had created to hide from it. And now the world would never be quiet again.